Pep Guardiola is almost certain to leave Manchester City this season. Will he win a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup? Almost certainly. The Premier League, still out of his hands. But Pep Guardiola is not looking like the Pep Guardiola of old. He's less animated. He's now saying things in his press conferences that we've never heard him say before. He's looking lost, dishevelled. And now Man City could lose their greatest ever manager. And then does the decline of Man City happen after this? Who knows? But let's talk about what Pep Guardiola has said in his press conferences recently. He has said that Man City need to spend more money and able to compete with the teams in the Premier League. This Man City team and this manager have spent over £2 billion constructing this team together. And yet he wants more money to buy more players to build a team. What does that say? Does that say he's only a checkbook manager and can't do it without the money? Or does that say that he needs money because he's got no squad depth? He's also questioning the decisions and the rules of the Carabao Cup because Mark Gahey can't play. Should have brought him earlier. These are the rules for the reason. And if you watch him on the sideline, he is very, very dishevelled and lost, whereas Pep Guardiola, in years gone by when he first started at City, he was very animated and very challenging. He would challenge every decision. He would, make sure his voice was heard. And now he doesn't do that. He's sort of indicating that this may be it. This may be his last hurrah in a Man City shirt, as it were. Is he going to bow out at the Etihad and wave goodbye after 10 years or so at Manchester City? This manager has won so much at Manchester City, and he is going to go down as their greatest ever manager. But can he do it without the money? Is he going to take a year off like everyone expects and then come back and manage a national team and then go on to win the World Cup? But if he manages a national team, there's no money in a national team, so he has to build the team. He has to pick the players. He has to, use tactics. And if you look at his tactics, it's questionable now. It's the one midfielder he played when he played Man United. He left Rodri isolated on his own and played 4 attackers. All right, the wingers dropped back and would help out, but it exposed Manchester City a lot, and that's why Man United were so free flowing. And the points that he's dropping, like some of the draws and some of the games where they should be winning comfortably, they're not. It's now looking like a Man City team that can be beaten, whereas when he first took over, the Man City teams that he had weren't beatable. They're now not looking like that. They're looking like a team that can be got at, whereas the team before, everyone feared them. It was, Man City are here. Sit back and try and hit them on the counter. Now, when Man City have the ball, it's if you press them, they'll make a mistake because they have a mistake in them. It is looking more and more likely that he's bowing out at the end of the season. He has another year. But I don't think Man City fans would begrudge him to leaving at the end of the season because he's done so much for them. I think it's a case of there would almost be an acceptance of it. But who's the man that follows the man? Who do they go and get? Because in the summer, there's going to be a manager merry-go-round. Do they go and get Carlo Ancelotti? Will he stay for 2-3 years and then another rebuild? Do they go and get Nagelsmann? A young manager who they can keep for another 6 years or so. There's plenty of managers that are going to be out there, or will it be a young manager that they want to build for another successful 10, 11 years? There's a manager at Bayern, Vincent Kompany, who played under Pep, who's doing very well at Bayern. Would he go and test his skills? But it will be very interesting to see what happens. Would some of the players stay now that Pep's not there? It's going to be a very interesting time at Manchester City in the summer if Pep does leave. Because some of these players were brought in and have learnt a lot from Pep. Would they learn under a new manager and want to take on his ideas? And we've seen it happen at Manchester United. When the man leaves, like Sir Alex Ferguson, does the crumble happen? Because it almost certainly did at Manchester United. But do Manchester City bring in a manager and go, okay, this is our man? And then if it doesn't work, do they sack the man after the man? I mean, the rumours are that Maresca's waiting for the job because he was there with Pep. Will he have enough time on his hands if he does take the Manchester City job? We don't know. It will be interesting to see what happens with the 115 charges as well when Pep goes. Are the Premier League waiting for that? Are they waiting for what is, a debatable, the greatest ever manager in the Premier League to leave and then hit Man City with those charges because they don't want it on Pep's record? This is just my opinion, and it could all happen in the summer because the 115 charges are still there. They just haven't been acknowledged by the Premier League and dealt with. They should have been, but they're not. But Pep Guardiola is certainly not the man he was, and it's now looking from the outside, looking in, and many fans have said it, that this could be his last year. BBC Sport have reported on it, and I think Sky Sports have sort of hinted at it that this could be his last year. And, I would be sad to see him go because as much as I hate him as Man City's boss, he's done so much for football and so much for the Premier League. But let me know what you think, Man City fans, in the comments. Are you sad that he's going? If he is going, who do you want to replace him? And if he's got another year in him, does he go after that? Does he sign another contract extension? Would you be happy if he just won the League Cup and the FA Cup? And do you think you're going to win the Premier League from under Arsenal's nose? Anyway, like, subscribe. See you soon.